people. My name is Meg Odize Additional. You're welcome to Girls, Girls, Girls on ATV Africa. Today we're going to be talking about gender equality, and with me on set are...
Hi, my name is Ogechi. I'm good to be here.
My name is Mo, and I'm excited to be here with you girls.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Good to have you girls on set again.
Oh, yeah,
So how have you been?
We've been, personally, I've been very, very okay. As you can see me looking really smashing. I have to really look good to be here on the show today.
Very, very good.
And why is your face like that?
You
Like
know
she
me,
stole-
you
she
know
stole-
me.
she stole my look. She stole my look.
Hey, calm down. You know me. I love to hang out with you girls.
Okay.
It's not about the gossip like girls are known for. We
Okay.
talk. Girls don't gossip. We talk. So
No,
I have
no.
to take out time
Mo,
to...
the issue is that you stole my look, and let's
Why
just share
are
it
you
from that. You
really
stole my look
bent
because
on this look?
we told the makeup artist that she make me look very natural and clean, and you stole the look. You were not supposed to look.
Okay, don't worry. I'll return it after now.
Okay.
But for now on air, I think I'll hit more like so. Let's do it like
Okay,
that.
okay. I agree with you. I agree with you.
Gender equality is causing great loss and misfortune. How did you get here?
Talking about causing, you said it's causing great loss and it's causing misfortune. Who are those that actually say it's causing misfortune? Who are those that say it's causing loss? Because talking about gender equality, it has to do with values. It has to do with people's differences, regardless of their gender. So if I want to ask, who are those that even says this is actually causing a problem? I don't know, from the question you just asked. Because gender equality, everybody should be equal. Boys, girls should be equal. I don't know. Am I speaking your mind?
Culture, it's not like that.
Yes, just to add to what Oge said, it is not causing any harm in any way. There's nothing wrong about gender equality.
At all, there
For
is
the
nothing.
fact, as an individual, I have the right to feel myself. I have the right to actually have access to resources. I have the right to have access to opportunities. I have my own right. I have choices. I have needs that are expected to be met, not being controlled. So the ability of me being able to exercise myself, I
Trying
don't
to also
see.
be you too.
I'm telling you,
I'm
so
trying to
I
be
don't see
me.
anything wrong about it.
Yes.
I don't.
And also to add to that, talking about opportunities, I should be able to build my own future. You understand? Like I said before now, regardless of your gender, be it a boy, be it a girl, be it a man or a woman, we should be able to build our future. We should be able to be us. And I think there's no problem with having, like you said, having lost or issues with gender equality.
Yeah.
But in African setting, it's not acceptable. So what do you say about it?
I don't think it's not. So I think we don't understand. I think some people actually, will I say, don't understand what is gender equality is all about, because some people actually take in a different light. Some people feel that, oh, because you're talking about gender equality, the woman should control the man, or the woman should not respect the man and the likes. But I think gender equality shouldn't be like that. We should have a 50-50 a chance of whatever we want, or a 50-50 opportunities to choose whatever we want to do.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, looking at being whether African or not, if we go back to how this whole thing started, it was never designed for any culture at all. If we have to follow the way nature was actually instituted, it was as if the world was placed in the hands of man. And that's why we know the whole time it's a man's world. That's how this whole thing started. Because it was more like the world was fixed on the shoulder of the man, and therefore women are expected to be subordinate or supporters. That is where it actually hides us. But waking up one day and looking at, you know what, I am also a human being, just like the man. I have needs just like the man. I don't want to be restricted anymore because I know I have things I want to actually achieve. I want to make impact. I want to do more than being just a wife, a daughter, a mother, restricted within the home. That is what actually pushed us or took us ahead and said, you know what, why don't we begin to be more supportive than just being supportive in the home. We want to be involved in decision making. Because a man might not know how I feel. Then if you don't know how I feel, how do you speak for me? How do you give me those certain benefits that I require? So I think whether African or not, we already know that these things are actually borrowed. All these are borrowed. Cultures are borrowed. The way we started dressing, food, there are some other foods that we actually came to even eat. They were borrowed. Even the whites that even brought the Europeans that brought these things to us stood up one day and started fighting. It's not based on tribes or culture. from the very beginning, from creation, it's more like
And something just popped in now while you were talking about the same topic, gender equality. You know, back then we used to have a man that takes care of responsibilities, while with the woman just sit back and take care of things in the house, take care of the kids, cook for your husband and stuff like that. But we later realized that some men, I'm using words, some men seem not to want to take their responsibilities anymore.
Yeah.
And they even see it as a burden. Yes, they see it as a burden, like you're always asking for something, you're always asking, and they like the fact that you're caged. Some people actually like the fact that you're caged. Now they feel that if they let you out of the cage, you're gonna do things, big things, better than them. And some feel intimidated also when you also take up challenges, big challenges like that. And that shouldn't even be. Everyone should be able to express themselves regardless of the gender.
I totally agree with you.
If a chance is not given to her, if she's not allowed to take that thing that she wants, or whatever opportunity or whatever dream, I think she will lose. But if you let her be her, I think she will do better than what we envisaged.
Okay, if you talk about losing your identity, I think for my own, I will be on the fence in this regard, because it depends. There are people who are excessive about what they do. And when you become excessive about what you do, you begin to lose the true essence of who you are. Yes, it's meant to take us to a better point. But when it's just like food. When food is abused, it has the side effect to this. It's just like, okay, now let me use my practical makeup, for instance. If I abuse it, there's a way makeup is applied that you begin to look at, why did you do this? It makes you lose who you are as a person. Now, if we go back to time, women naturally were homekeepers, were more committed in the home, they had time for the kids. You get good. At a point, more challenges started tripping in. You have lesser time for the home. You're not there like you used to be. In a way, because right now there's a comparison between based on who we used to be as women and who we are right now. Because we have higher role.
People compare our mothers of then and our mothers of now.
So that's why they're trying to look at, does it change the identity of women? Because a woman is expected to, you have maybe 80% of your time in the home.
Let me cut you there. You're talking about it depends. A woman losing her identity. I think everything that has its advantage has its disadvantages too. So it's very, very possible that every human, regardless now, every human is bound to be excessive one way or the other. It depends on how we want to term whatever we want to term. But I don't think that when it comes to gender, talking about the woman gender right now, she loses her identity. If you let her be her, I don't think she would.
Well,
I don't think she would.
To overdo it, just like you said.
I don't think they will lose focus. Even the men do lose focus. So why we're gonna center on the fact that because of it's a woman, she's gonna lose focus. If it's a man, he doesn't lose focus, but it's the woman. She loses focus.
No, it's not. See, that's where when I handle issues as regards gender, I am not biased based on whether I'm a woman or a man. The first thing I put myself as is an individual. Okay. Irrespective of whether you're mine, I hit it as it should be.
So this
you're not fair, you're not fair.
And not the gender
that's
thing.
The thing. So it's not gender. We know ourselves. There are still, even the men, there are men who are actually, they actually lose their own identity too, even in their roles, even with the fact they've been placed in that position. The same thing for women, because we are not all the same. Just the same way we are handling this topic, gender equality. Do you know it's not all women that really understand it? People just pick up the topic like as if it's a designer piece or a designer clothes. That's what they know. But when you have deeper conversation with those people, you really understand. They don't even know what it is. They just pick it and begin to use it anyhow. Some people have taken it upon themselves. It has actually affected so many homes because of it. That's why we said at a point.
I think most people, like you said, most people really don't understand the gender equality thing. And because of that, whatever that comes in, or sorry, whatever that is thrown at them, they just feel like, okay, yes, that's how it should be. Or because you hear someone talk about it, or you saw it on the internet,
you just
or there's an article that you have read, you really don't understand. Like, this is a personal thing about what gender equality is all about. And I think everybody should be able to understand the gender equality thing. Now, we are not clamoring for the fact that, oh yes, my husband controls. Now, let's even bring it to the marriage settings right now. That my husband controls me and he's not supposed to do that. I should be able to control him, or the reverse. But I think it should be a thing that you bring to the table and say, okay, this is how we want to let things be in this home. Always know that the man is the head. I always say that. He is the head. Even people have an issue with that. He is the head of that home. And you, as the woman, should be able to support him. But there are some men, or there are some men that will not want to take it that way. They are very controlling, or very authoritative.
Possessive.
They want to be in charge. You don't have a say, as far as I'm concerned. They believe that you are in their home and you should definitely dance to whatever tune or whatever thing they play. We shouldn't be. You should be able to consult her and talk to her about it. And you will have to come to a common ground. And that'll be fine.
Yeah,
but when we have issues of, oh yeah, she's trying to come because she's trying to come take the position of the man in the house, or the breadwinner and stuff like that, there will be an issue. But I think it has to be the two significant order coming together, agreeing on how it should be in the home, and things will be fine. It will be very, very fine with that.
So what are the consequences of trying to be equal to men?
Are there consequences?
They're none. They're none.
There are no consequences.
But for you to say I'm trying to be equal to man, then you've actually turned me a second-class citizen, and the man is a first-class citizen, which it shouldn't be. You're indirectly saying, oh yes, it's a superhero, while you are the inferior hero. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't.
No.
Okay,
I
think being equal. There is this topic. It's actually very vast. You get, because there's a point whereby you actually put some level of limitations to it. Like, we're trying to do comparison in the home and the society. You get, workplace. It's not the same. It's an open playground for you to actually get some level of opportunities, even in your workplace, because what every other company needs right now is someone who can provide solution irrespective of gender. You get, as long as you can solve the problem, as long as you're more intelligent, as long as you're smarter. If we look at success way back and now, the same measurement or the same yardstick is not what is used. No. Way back, it has to be physical strength. The men, that's why they're stronger, they can withstand pressure, and the whole.
And there are some jobs then that men did, that women couldn't.
Yeah, that's
try
the
to
thing.
Even venture into. Or like now, you have women doing everything, even truck drivers, mechanic, everything, they do
and
everything.
all that. Now, back to what I'm actually trying to say. So, if you look at the workplace, it's an open playground. You get, but where I really got shocked was when I really did the research, and I found out that, do you know that there are cases or companies or some industries whereby because you're a woman, you are not paid, men are paid more than you are, irrespective of the fact that you occupy same position.
And to add to that, there's some positions you cannot occupy as a woman in some institution or organization.
Yeah.
They believe because you're a woman, you cannot occupy that position. It's meant for a man because what comes with that position you cannot handle as a woman. But they're getting it all totally wrong. And there are some women that can withstand all this pressure that you think the men can withstand more.
Yeah. And looking at areas of consequence, I think the only major consequence is when the opposite sex do not agree. They do not understand that part. People who don't come to a deeper understanding that, okay, this person is also an individual as me. That is the only way. When we disagree, there's going to be a fight. And that is the major consequence. And that's why some of these things, when it goes back into the home, it's a problem. And even politically, if you check the political sector too, it's the same thing, because you see just few women taking key roles. Very few of them, except very handy other position. But key one, there are just, how many countries would you find a woman being the president? Do you think she's not capable? She is actually capable. And when I actually checked it, it was said that, okay, women cannot take most key positions. Why? Because of our nature as women. You know, if you have kids today or you're pregnant,
if you're maternity leave,
yeah, 3 months, what's going to
rest.
happen within that space of time?
And do you know one thing? Sometimes all these things starts from the home. You see some parents, the way they raise their girl child is different from the way they raise their boy child. Yeah, there's some people that do that. So they've already created that in the minds of the kids. So they grow with it and they feel, oh yes, I'm superior, she's inferior already. And I think that shouldn't be, because I think there's someone that told me that in her home, girls are not allowed to change the bulb. Girls are not allowed to change the battery of the wall clock. Girls are not allowed to start the generator. They have to wait for. So now when you have all girls, or even you don't have the man in the house, what happens? You go look for a man out there to help you fix this.
Yeah.
For me, it's words, if you ask me.
Yeah.
So I think most of this things starts from the home. I think the girl child, the boy child should be raised the same way.
Same way, yeah.
You understand? You shouldn't limit her to just, oh, go and do the kitchen duties, or go and clean up the house alone, and while you allow the boy just sit and say, yeah, that's the girl's work. Go and do the girl's job, I'll do the boy's job. It shouldn't be. They should be able to do all these things together.
And also, I think one of the major things that has actually brought about, one of the major consequences that we will not leave aside if we have to be truthful to ourselves, is that I think the rate of divorce to some extent has increased. You see women tell you, oh, I am king of my own world. You know? Really, it has to some extent actually increased. It should not be, even if we want to be as equal, you get, I think there are still some spelled out responsibilities that, you know, oh, women, okay.
So I tell you that because of the gender equality thing, the divorce rate has increased.
I think for me, that's what I think, because it is brought to the home.
Being equal, make you free from control.
No, I think the point we're getting wrong here is that our parents of those days were able to take the things that mothers of now can't take. That's what. And then we were told then that we always say, be patient, endure. And most of them were not happy in their marriages. Yes, we have people that have spent like 50 years in marriage, but I can bet you, talk to them, have a chit chat with them. They will tell you that in the 50 years of being married, they've been happy for just 5 years. That they stayed for the remaining 45 years because of their kids. Because of what the society would say. Yes, we had a lot of them that were saying that. But they don't really come out like we, well, we're kind of bold anyway, or come out and say, okay, no, I can't do this anymore. I want to be happy. So, and most of them would say that for the 45 years, out of 50, they've been with their wife, their spouse or so, they were unhappy. And this shouldn't be. But now, what with the modern wife or the modern woman that we have, I put in the word modern, if they don't let that continue, because a lot of things could actually happen while she stayed all that long. It could be that domestic violence is part of it, and she was taking all this to herself. She was also afraid of what the society would say, because we're concerned about the society will say I'm not able to stay in a man's house, quote and unquote. You understand? Because of that they want to stay. But
okay. Oh my God. I think that's more like a downside from my own end. You get, it has limited our level of patience to some extent. We don't have that patience for some certain characters So we just want to move on, live our life, and enjoy it to the fullest because we feel and know you're capable. It's more like breaking free, getting into some level of independence all by yourself because you can. Imagine where you're a full-time housewife, your husband is only working class.
And you don't have anywhere to fall back on. You just stay put.
You will be there. You don't have a choice.
You stay put.
Yeah, you don't have a choice. You just have to be there. That's just it. So this is the other side to it. And that's why you see a whole lot of single parents to the world or to the society that will clap for you will still go back there and tell you, oh, you know what, this woman, this lady herself, she's not in her husband's house. You get so everybody.
Well, should you be concerned about that?
Oh yeah, we should.
Should you be concerned about? Should you be concerned? Should you be concerned about that?
Yeah, that's another thing actually. So let's not digress because if we do digress in that area,
we'll shatter the table.
I'm telling you.
And there was no carpet going to fix it.
Hello audience, we're still on ATV Africa on Girls. We've been talking about gender equality for some time now, and Mo and Oge have been giving us different views on this topic, and we're even digressing to other points as well. But then, what do you feel about this gender equality thing? Are you for it or against it? From all I can see, you are against it.
I am for it.
But you're talking against it.
I'm trying. There's some points that she actually points. There's some pointers which I want to either buttress it or I want to maybe get one or two or add up or subtract. But personally, now let me talk about my own personal opinion here. I think I'm for gender equality.
Okay, and you?
Okay, gender equality. I don't have any issues. Like I said, I expect everyone, irrespective of your gender, to be treated right, fairness, equity. I have right to attain or get benefit from resources, justice, everything that is expected to be offered, not being dependent on anything
right
at all, right to work, the right to own properties, not because the man, it's more like the entitlement of the man too. I am also a child of my parents, so I should be given such opportunities. So I think I'm in support of this.
Does a woman who is well qualified physically and intellectually need gender equality to have a mental ease?
I think that is does it?
Does it?
Not really. I would not say yes. I wouldn't say no.
You just be on the fence.
Like I always do. Okay, now the truth about it is, it's just like saying peace of mind. You get? Yes, you can, gender equality can be on the rescue to some point. Now, what is left, it's you. How you tend to go about it, about yourself, how you tend to build your own confidence, how you tend to live your own life. You get? So mentally, trying to relate, it will work in some certain, that's why I said, to some certain points, not 100%. I would not give it 100%. Like if a woman who has been suffering from violence, abuse, you get, who has been under threat to life, who has the right to proper education or having access to right jobs have been taken from her, and she gets those things in place, it will take her to a greater height. But what happens after then? That's another thing. What happens? It does to a point, but it doesn't do it 100%.
If she gets all this that you just mentioned, and she's happy with herself, and she feels very fulfilled, I think it's okay.
It's okay.
That's what I'm telling you.
For you to say what happens next.
No.
What happens next?
Do you know why? Do you know why I would want to disagree on this ground? We've met successful people.
And
why do people who are very successful have everything they need? They have the finances, they can travel the world, but you have rates of suicide. You hear rates of people being unhappy.
And you think that's the cause?
Wait. No, I'm only
That's not peculiar. That's not peculiar to being married or not.
No, don't get. I'm not saying. See, we're not talking about being married. You get? The issue right now is gender equality. Because even at a point, look at it, we as girls, let's be truthful to ourselves, we have placed men in that bar. I'm telling you. No, let me finish. I'll give you my reasons. I'll give you my reasons.
Like they're above us?
No, I'm not saying they're above us. We have placed ourselves in that position that we are meant to be too dependent on men. Why is it that at a point, at an age, a lady gets to a particular age, she gets too worried. Why? Because she's not married. But even if she's successful, even if she has everything, she owns a house, she can travel the world, but she still feels incomplete without a man. And you want to stand up and talk about gender equality. There's a problem. So that means we should really stand up, and because we say whatever the society says. But in a way, society has influenced us, and we're beginning to think in that direction. That's why you see, out of 100 girls, you bring like an 80 girls. You ask them what's their life plan. In the next, by the time they analyze it, school, come out of the university, serve. The next thing, there must be marriage. Nobody has some. Most people don't have life.
That used to be, not anymore.
Who said?
No, that used to be.
Yes,
When I said that used to be, then we used to have more numbers of girls then. That used to be, but now people's mindset are beginning to change.
Yes.
Yeah, it used to be, yes, that if you're not married as at 25, you say, oh, yes, you'll be so worried. But people are beginning to understand that, man, even these men don't want liabilities. So they want to equip themselves. They don't want to be equipped. Yes, in as much as we know that later on, you will think of marriage.
That's what I think we're coming on the same table
I said
now.
later on, you're going to, no, compared to then, if you're clocking 25, you're worried. In fact, some people are already depressed. Some people are already thinking that you're already a failure. People are already thinking, but now, if you meet a 25-year-old girl, she doesn't have a relationship, she'll tell you, fine, I'm working on being an entrepreneur. I have a business, I'm working on one. You would think of just like the man,
you know
just
why
like the man.
I love us because just like guys. That's why. So I'm so sorry I'm bringing up guys. I've been in the midst of guys. I have a couple of them, my friend. I see the way they mingle. You get a guy of 35 might not be as worried as a girl of 35.
Who says so?
No, I'm not saying they won't, but look at statistics. What is the number? What is the number? That's what I'm saying. That you get girls, 35, you get girls who are successful even at 25.
You know why? It's a child factor. Because we know that very soon we're going to clock menopause. That's why we are worried.
That's what I'm saying. And there are other options.
That's why we are worried.
There are other options to only having children.
Thank God for surrogacy.
You can adopt.
Thank God, adoption is another factor, but thank God for that. But what makes us scared, even though you're successful, is the baby child factor thing. That you need to have a child. Because you know that when you're clocking 40, you have issues buried. Even your doctors will advise you.
Thank you.
You have issues with that. So what I'm trying to clear is this. You said, now I know that when you ask a young girl her plans, marriage is infused already. I understand that. But right now, you can't compare then. As we speak right now, most people are into venturing into one business or the other.
I am not
the man will come later. But
I am not disputing.
People are not even placing man before their business.
No.
They are even placing their business over the man.
Not everyone. Not everyone. I'm telling you, we would look at statistics. It's not all about the one or the two. You will know. Fine, a whole lot of
questions.
Wait, that's what I'm saying now.
Have we done our statistics?
Wait, let me finish. Let me finish. What I am saying. What I am still saying, whether we like it or not, whether we become extremely successful or not, there will be a point. That's what I said. By the time we attain all these things, we talked about a woman who is intelligent and a woman who is maybe successful in her career. At that point, and I said it's because we have placed men on that back that we are at some point still dependent on them. No, you don't get, because you will feel that after all these things you have achieved, you feel you are not complete without a man.
Not a man.
So what
think of the man is a child. That's what I'm trying to make you understand.
No, it is not. If it is the child.
It's the child.
No, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I'm going off. I'm going off, but I will not be sorry for what I'm about to say. I'm saying it up and right here open. If you want to have a child, it's not hard.
Okay, how?
If child is a problem, we've seen celebrities, we've seen people who are.
So how do you get it done? How do you get it done? Is it from an animal or from a man?
Who has? That's what I'm saying.
From a man. You guess you can get it from a man.
That's what I'm saying. You can get it without putting the marriage factor to it. Because we have lots of marriages who they're married and they don't even have children.
If that's the relax. Factor. You're gonna be very selfish because your child will need a father one day. That's what I'm trying to make you understand this.
You don't get this.
Okay, maybe we are not on the same page. But let me explain what I have in mind right now is this. We actually are afraid that because when you clock a particular age as a woman, forget about the man right now. you have difficulty bearing kids. We
Yeah.
know that because some complications that might arrive and all that.
Yeah.
And most of the successful women, they just want kids.
Yeah.
They also don't want to be selfish. They want these kids to have a father figure, a father they can always go to and all that. If you're talking about it's not easy, it's very easy to get children. You go get the donor and all that. You're being selfish because you had a father.
That
you,
is
don't, you don't want your child.
No,
You don't want.
whether it's in our
Apart from that,
Mm-hmm.
because of our society, definitely your parents will want you to bring a man, do all the whole tradition, get a wine, get to meet the parents'
that's
family
being
and all
concerned
that.
about what the society will say.
That's not society. That's not
You
society.
can adopt a child if you want to.
No,
if it's only a
getting
child
it
that's a
wrong.
problem.
That's not society. That's a tradition.
No, it's not
and your
tradition.
culture.
There are a
Society
whole
is
lot
when-
of tradition that a whole lot of people are shoving aside. Quite all right, because you feel you want to own yourself. You don't care about
You
what the
can't shove
tradition.
aside. You can't shove
tradition
aside your
says.
bride price.
I find,
You
I
can't shove
agree.
no matter what it is, you
That
can't shove
is
it
still
out.
centered on marriage. That's what I'm saying. That we have taken men to the point that with our level of success is not
It's getting
complete.
heated already because I'm not agreeing with her on this point. Seriously,
Yeah, okay.
I am not agreeing with you on this point. It's
Okay,
getting heated.
okay.
There are some questions that we are not even shoving aside. Bride price we can't shove aside. Changing your name to your
Yeah.
husband's name, you can't shove it aside.
Oh,
We'll get
we
back
want
to
to
that.
go there.
We'll get back
Okay,
to
let's
that.
all right.
What are the direct and indirect consequences of trying to be equal with men?
Okay, looking at being equal with men, I always don't want to use that word. Maybe when we want to talk about this, don't always make it look as if we're competing something. It should be focused on gender equality. Because if we say, oh, we want to be equal with men, it's not like, do we want to have muscles and all the whole other physical? So I think if we say gender equality, it takes us to a very, because if you say equality with men, men, we're not going to live here. Now, looking at the consequences, we said the benefits.
The direct and indirect.
Yeah, the direct. Well, first of all, as regards violence, women violence, it would go a long way to reduce it. Especially when you realize that you're giving the child the right education. Yeah, you're giving the child the right and necessary resources that child needs, or the woman needs, to actually put herself. It actually reduces that level of violence that's really being encountered, because most of the major areas of violence, why it's on a repetitive ground. Like there are some things we've said that we can string these things to. You feel. Remember when we went back, it's more like, oh, I'm not doing anything right now. If I leave this man, how do I start with my life? Now look at it right now. If you fast forward to our time, it's all about, oh, I am doing something. I have something I'm doing. I am self-dependent. So you can decide when it gets to a point, you leave. If it's something you can't take in, you leave. You can be, okay, I don't like to preach divorce. Well, maybe separate for a while. If you like, give me that ice, babe. But that's the truth. That's one.
Let me go to your question.
Yeah.
Because I don't know where, I think Monica is in support of what's going on. She's in support of the guys being first
you
class
did
and we
well.
are being.
That's what she's
trying to. But the issue is this: talking about, I think there's no consequence here. We are saying that we are equal. We are saying that I have a right to that same right he has.
There's no consequence.
Distraction.
How does a woman stay at distractions?
Well, stare at distractions. It depends on what distraction.
There's a lot of distractions. There's a lot of distractions.
Yeah.
A lot of it. Societal. We can name, but I think it's very easy for you.
Society will this, society will
Yes, but I think it's to tell yourself what is it that I want. Speak with yourself. What is it that I want? And go for it. and go for it. And for you to go for something, you know that you're going to be focused. You know you're going to shove aside all the whole roadblocks. You're going to take it aside. So it's for what you want. Just go for what you want. That's it.
Okay, for me, looking at, adding up with her voice, really, for every individual, like I said, I am an individual. So I'm not speaking based on the woman gender or the male gender. I'm speaking first as a person that I need to be, as a woman in this case, I need to be focused on what I want. It's the goal. It's just like every journey, there are going to be distractions, noise, pitfalls. There are different distractions, but you know your destination. You just keep driving till you get home. Like even if you are someone who takes a public vehicle, for instance, even if other people are lighting at their bus, you don't come down along with them now.
That's not your stop.
That's not your stop. You have to keep going till you get to your stop. So you need to be focused. It's going to be less of the talk and more of the work. That's what does it. That's what everybody can dream. Everybody can. Oh, I want to. We all want.
Oh, just few
If
persons
wishes
actually
were
get to that
horses, beggars will ride. That's the thing. So we need to put work, put focus, put diligence, put patience.
Girls, we're still on Girls on ATV Africa. We've been having a heated argument with Mo and Oge, and it was very interesting. Nice having you girls around.
Yeah. You know.
You guys, for information, talking about boys and girls, we're same. And that's how we just had the recent International Women's Day.
Yeah.
And it was like this. Meaning that we're the same. Take it anywhere. We're the same. That's what it means. We're the same. I know some people out there will actually, they'll skin me alive for saying this, but I think we're the same, okay? We have a right to everything that the guys have a right to. But hey, don't tell me to come push the car where the car stops. In Ikeja along, I will not push. The guy has to push the car. Am I right?
No.
No, he has to push the car.
Have to.
He has to push the car. No.
You have to.
When,
That's the truth about
when the car
it.
gets when the car gets bad in Ikeja along, the guy has to come down and push the car. Why I just sit down and chill?
And
Yeah, darling. I sit down and chill as the queen that I am. No, but seriously, there's some exceptions to this gender equality
Thank you.
thing.
I like what you're saying. Are you
No, when
supporting
it comes
me right now?
to fixing
Thank you.
things, they should fix it.
Thank you for
But you can't expect me
supporting
to come
me.
sweat. You can't even go sweat on under that stuff. Let him fix the car. Let him call the mechanic and fix the car. Let him change the tire. Let him change the tire.
There's a limit.
And do all that
Actually,
stuff.
the truth. Let's not get into our heads. Really, there's actually the limit to how these things run, whether we like it or not. Because there's something we did not.
But what we are
Wait,
clamoring for.
let me ask you.
No,
Is it
let's
achievable?
summarize. Let's
Is it
summarize.
achievable?
What we are clamoring for is this: right to education. You understand? The boy child, the girl child, to have the same quality education. We should have right. When you talk about your organization, your workplace, we should have the same rights too. If a man deserves to actually occupy the seat of the general manager and all that, the woman should be able to. If she has the qualifications, she has everything that it takes, she should be able to. She shouldn't be sidelined because she's a woman.
Yeah, sure.
Understand? Now, talking about the home front now, she should be able to have a say in her home. It shouldn't be just the man saying, oh, I have said it and it's
Decision
final.
making,
She should have a say in her home. Those are the basic things we were saying. But talking about having a mature body and coming to fight for me, hey, I'm going to call my boo to fight.
For you, because it
I'm
is
gonna call my boo.
responsibility.
It's his responsibility to fight for me.
All right.
But she didn't meant to fight for
But
me.
the truth remains. The truth remains.
I shouldn't go and give him a trouble.
The truth remains that ladies out there, irrespective of who you are entitled. Learn it, know it, that first you're an individual and you deserve every resources, every opportunity to gain the benefits that is expected to be yours. Not because you're a woman, but first because you are an individual. That's the truth about it. So stay up your game. Understand what gender equality is. It is not a designer wear that you just wear. You need to know it. You need to stand up. You need to act based in that line.
That's right.
All right, thank you very much. And it's been really wonderful having a very lovely time with
Yeah,
you. That stole my look. And it's been a lovely time having a very, very
I think
wonderful
we'll do this
conversation.
after the whole show.
No, I think after the studio, I need to punch somebody.
we need to
I need to
we
beat
need
up.
to talk
I
about
need
this
to beat up this
again.
girl. I
We're
need to beat
talking
up
about
this girl.
again. All right.
All right, girls.
Thank you very much, guys. Have a wonderful time, and see you guys. Don't do what I wouldn't do. Stay out of trouble, and Egugu, be careful because it don't happen.
All right.
You know.